Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Miss Saima Khurram, and in this session we will be inshallah beginning with the second chapter of your computer book, that is the computer components. Okay, now in the previous chapter we've already discussed regarding the various types of computers, and in this chapter, we are going to focus mainly on the microcomputers. Now, in the previous chapter, we've already discussed that microcomputer is the smallest in capability out of all the types of computer. Okay, and it is also termed as the most general purpose type of computer. Okay, now, what do I mean by general purpose? That means it is not confined to a particular one or two use. You can use in a variety of ways. For example, if you have to play games, you can play games onto it. If you have to write an application, you can do that. If you have to create a spreadsheet, you can do that. If you have to email someone, you can do that. If you want to browse the internet, so it is basically used in a variety of ways. Now over here in microcomputer that we are having in our homes and our schools, we basically them divided into two categories. As one, the desktop computer, the one uh, which we have lying on our desks, and the other is a laptop computer, which is more towards the portable side. That means we can carry it easily around everywhere on the go. Okay, now let us go and discuss about the most important part of a microcomputer. Now, microcomputer are also termed as a computer on a chip, computer on a microprocessor. Understand? Because the main important part of a central processing unit is sorry, the main important part of a microcomputer is CPU. Okay, CPU full form is central processing unit. Now, central processing unit is also termed as the brain of a computer. Now, just as the in a human body, the importance of brain is supreme. Similarly, in a computer system, the importance of CPU is supreme. It basically supervises all the activities on a computer system. Okay, now CPU itself is also composed of various parts, the most important one being discussed here as CU, control unit, ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, and registers. They are a type of memory. Now, okay, so on your screen now you can see a simple block diagram of a computer system. Here you can see the input. The input is whatever the information or the raw data that we give to the computer. Okay, we send it into the computer, that goes into the CPU. In the CPU we have the control unit. Okay, now the control unit acts as a monitor, or you can say a supervisor, like, so it is going to look at the data. It will decide what has to be done to the data. For example, if the data is meant to be stored, it will send it to the memory unit. And if the data is meant to be retrieved back and given to some output device, it will be retrieved and sent back to an output device. Now, if the data requires some calculation to be performed on it, so the control unit is going to send it to the arithmetic logic unit. The arithmetic logic unit is going to the required calculations onto it, work on it, and the process data will be then sent back to the control unit. Okay, and then as per user's requirement, that data will be sent either to the memory or to the output devices towards a user, depending on whatever the user has requested. So the control unit here is acting as a supervisor. It is not doing any work, it is only sending, it is only directing the flow of data. Okay, it is directing the various parts of the computer to do the work. Okay, now let us right now consider the ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. Now, the arithmetic and logic unit, as the name suggests, arithmetic, logic. So it must be dealing with some sort of calculations. And logic over here means some logical decisions. Okay, now arithmetic, so I hope you understand, whichever I've got any sort of calculation, so that is arithmetic. You all know you have been studying arithmetic in the very beginning of your school life. Logic, now over here logic means where there is um, where there is a decision has to be made. For example, uh, if let's say I'm asking a very simple question, if there is a rain, will there will there be and will there be a load shedding problem or not? So that is a conditional based question. Over here, the condition is going to be evaluated, and then the answer is going to be seen according to the condition. Or I can give you another one as uh, a very simple one, as in your homes your parent normally say that if you get 80 percentage in your examination, we will buy you a new tab, and if not, you will be taken your old tab also. Now over here, whether the child gets a new tab or mobile depends upon the percentage. If the percentage is 80 or above, the child will get the tab or the mobile new one. But if the percentage is below 80, the child is going to be deprived of even the old tab. Okay, so these are the logical decisions that are basically carried out in the arithmetic and logic unit. Okay, then we have over here functions of the control unit. As I said earlier, the function control unit directs the flow of data. Okay, and it communicates with arithmetic logic unit and main memory. Okay, so the whole direction is given by means of the control unit. It is going to decide that which operation is going, whether the data is to be sent to arithmetic logic unit or it is to be sent to the memory unit. Also, the data has to be sent to the output unit as per requirement of the user. That is also being evaluated by the control unit. Okay, so I'm going to stop my lecture over here, and inshallah tomorrow we will be doing types of memory. Till then, assalamu alaikum.